Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week, the video lecture is going to be a little shorter because you already pretty much know what you're supposed to be doing, but this week do view my video lecture, which is what you're doing right now. Review Core Project 4 assignment sheet. I'm not going to review that with you again. We've looked at it together several times. And review the Core Project 4 map, which I will look at with you, and review the Core Project 4 organizational instructional outline document, and I will go over that with you also. This week, mainly, you're going to continue researching to find evidence for your body paragraphs, and remember that your body paragraphs are the things that you're proposing for the solutions for your problem so that the global goal can be met. And this week you will submit your updated document on the Turnitin link. So by this week you should have your introduction paragraph, your background paragraph, and now you should have at least one body paragraph. So let's take a look at the Project 4 map again, and just to see where we are on the map. Okay, so last week we were continuing researching, and you were going to be answering this question: why is this a problem or issue worthy of solving? That was going to be for your background paragraph, and then this week for research to find information on possible solutions to meet the goal. And of course, we're talking about the global goal that the United Nations has set. So try to find 3 solutions and evidence that they are worthy solutions. And remember, you are trying to convince your readers that this goal can be met through these solutions. So the more evidence you bring in, the better that will be. Let's go back to the sample outline organizational document. So here I have, I changed my title up, Who Rules the World? Equality for Women. And so here's the same introduction paragraph we've looked at before here with the thesis statement. And then the background paragraph that you need to bring in evidence to complete it. I put just a little bit of information in there, but not nearly enough evidence to show the extent of the problem, but you will in your essay. And then I started a body paragraph for you just so you could see what I'm talking about. So we'll start with a topic sentence, which will be the solution. So we want to use a transition, one solution that must be implemented to ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights. And so some countries, especially in their rural areas, provide little to no health care and services for females pre-pregnancy. In other words, they have no means to prevent unwanted pregnancies, either through education or the use of prophylactics. For example, now here's where I'm bringing in my evidence. For example, in Eritrea, an unmarried woman has more knowledge of contraceptives than a married woman, and marriages are conducted at early ages. Groups such as the United Nations Population Fund are working to change that. And then, of course, if I had continued writing it, I would bring in the evidence of what the United Nations Population Fund is doing to help this problem of education for contraceptives. And then, of course, in your other body paragraphs, I have also provided another solution is, and a third solution is, and with a topic sentence for each one of these. And then I continued on with the opposition, some refutation, the conclusion, and all of that. So you've looked at these before, and that is fine. Continue to look at it, because as you research, you'll want to find the answers for those. Now, when I gave my, I started to, I'm not going to write the paper for you, and I didn't, frankly, don't want to write a research paper myself, but I was interested in Eritrea because John Green mentioned it in his video that it was one of the worst human rights places in the world. And so I said, well, let me see what their views are for women. And I got interested in it, and that's why I used that as an example. And it doesn't really matter which examples you use, as long as you make your focus global. Look where things are really bad in the rest of the world, and don't concentrate on how to make things better in the United States, because frankly, compared to the rest of the world, the United States is pretty good. But anyway, that's how I used Eritrea, and then I started researching, and what I did to find that, I used some keywords from my topic sentence. And so I looked up universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights. I put that in my search engine, and then I saw some information that came up about the United Nations Population Fund, and I was really interested in what they had to say, and they got a lot of good information um, in that on that site. And then I particularly wanted to check out Eritrea, and so I started using Eritrea in my search results. I mean, in my search questions. So that's what you're to do for this week. Um, Make sure that you have at least one body paragraph added to your document. So you should have your, as I said, your introduction paragraph, your background paragraph, and at least one body paragraph to stay on track for this week. And then, so here it is, spelled out for you. Research, find at least 3 solutions that will help meet the UN global goal you have chosen. And of course, I have suggested that you go to that global goals page that you started from and look at the targets that they have and choose from there. And then in your research, find evidence that will support each solution as one that will work. Incorporate logos, ethos, and pathos into your evidence. We talked about that last time. Logos, facts, figures, statistics, authorities that have information, have studied this and have information. Ethos, write it well, show that you have done your research, you have a good in-text and a works cited page that allows your reader to see, yes, this person is a very ethical person and has a right to be writing about this subject. And then the pathos, if you can find some examples of some really pitiful situations to stir sympathy or empathy, or something that would even, it's to stir the emotions. It doesn't have to necessarily be something to make you feel sorry for someone or pity someone. It could make you, it could stir the emotions of righteous indignation. We shall not let this go on. Remember, you're trying to convince or persuade someone that this is an important problem that needs to be addressed, and your solutions are ones that will address the problem and lead to meeting the goal. So keep that in mind as you build your body paragraphs. Here's a little template you could use. One solution that must be implemented to help with whatever the target goal is, and then you can give that background, that example. Add examples from your research, and if one example is good, 2 makes it even better. So as you're putting in your evidence in your background, don't forget to ice those examples. In other words, introduce it, cite it properly, and then you're not finished by just giving the information. Explain how this is going to work so well to take care of the problem or to help alleviate the problem. So your explanation is very important to the paper. Remember, this is based on This is research-based, so yes, you can put, I want your own words in it. You definitely need your own words in it, but you must back it up with what you have read and researched and found to back up what you are saying. And remember that it should be written in an academic, professional style. You should not have any first person, singular or plural, no I, me, we, our. It's really easy to slip into that we and our stuff on an essay like this, but don't do it. Don't leave those pronouns out. Also, nowhere in the paper should there be an announcement of the assignment. I plan to discuss, I will talk about in this paper will, this essay is about, or anything like that, because you're just going to plainly state it and back it up with evidence. That's what you're doing. So instead of telling your reader what you plan to do, just simply do it. Also, we want to leave out anything that has I feel, I believe, in my opinion, or I think, because what happens then is we are weakening our persuasive language if you put in I think. It belittles what you're trying to say. And then you, yours, and yourself don't get into that. Don't start talking directly to your reader. Keep it in third person. So here's your assignment. Finish at least one body paragraph with all of your evidence and submit your document with the introduction, background paragraph, and first body paragraph on the Turnitin link. You'll get 100 for the course grade for this, but I do want you to go back and check my comments, because if there's any problem that I see that we can correct at this stage in the game, then the final result, when I actually get your full essay and get to grading that, you'll have a much higher number, which is what we all want. Okay, so that's the assignment for this week. Take care. Do the very best that you can do with this, and when you finish this, then you can go ahead and work on paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 for your solutions. So contact me if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.